Before we begin, I need you to do something right now. Hit that subscribe button, tap the notification bell. This information has been hidden from you your entire life, and the algorithm doesn't want you to see it. The wealthy don't want you to know what I'm about to reveal. So subscribe now, because what you're about to hear in the next 40 minutes will either change your life forever, or you'll dismiss it and remain exactly where you are. The choice is yours. But make it now. Subscribe. 3 in the morning. While you sleep, fortunes are being built. While you dream, empires are being forged. While you rest in the comfort of unconsciousness, a small group of men and women are awake, and they are taking everything. They are not smarter than you. They are not more talented. They were not born into wealth, but they know something you don't. They follow a protocol, ancient and exact, that I am about to reveal to you. I have spent 30 years studying the habits of the wealthy, not the moderately successful, not the comfortable middle class. I'm talking about the men who built railroads, who created industries, who commanded nations. Andrew Carnegie, John D. Rockefeller, Henry Ford, J.P. Morgan. These men did not stumble into wealth. They followed laws. And the first law, the one they never spoke of publicly, was this: fortune belongs to those who claim the hours the world has abandoned. 3. AM is not an hour. It is a threshold. It is the moment when the veil between the seen and unseen world grows thin. It is when your mind, unburdened by the noise of the day, can access powers that remain locked during daylight hours. The ancients knew this, the mystics practiced it, the builders of wealth weaponized it, and now I'm handing you the key. But I must warn you, this is not for the weak. This is not for those who love comfort more than they love freedom. If you are content to drift through life, if you prefer the warmth of your bed to the cold fire of ambition, then turn away now. This protocol will demand something from you. It will require you to sacrifice the very thing most people worship, unconscious sleep. But in return, it will give you what they will never have, conscious wealth. Listen carefully. The world operates on rhythms most people never perceive. There are hours of power and hours of waste. There are moments when the universe listens and moments when it turns its back. 3 a.m. is when the universe listens. It is the hour of creation. It is the hour when thoughts become things with frightening speed. The successful know this. They have always known this. Thomas Edison slept only 4 hours a night and he woke at 3. He called these hours his workshop of miracles. It was at 3 a.m. when the solutions came to him, when the inventions took shape in his mind, when the impossible became inevitable. Do you think the electric light was born during business hours? No. It was born in the silence of 3 a.m., when Edison's mind could hear the whispers of infinite intelligence. Henry Ford restructured his entire automobile empire during the early morning hours. While his competitors slept, he strategized. While others dreamed, he calculated. While the masses rested, he conquered. By the time the sun rose, Ford had already won the day. His competitors didn't stand a chance because they were fighting a battle that had been decided hours before they even woke up. You see, most people are living on a delay. They wake up, react to the world, and spend their entire day responding to circumstances created by others. They are followers, not leaders. They are victims, not victors. And they will remain that way until they understand this fundamental truth. The day is won before it begins, and it is won at 3 a.m. Now I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, I need my sleep. I need 8 hours. I need rest. Let me tell you something. You've been lied to. The 8-hour sleep myth was created to keep you docile, to keep you weak, to keep you controllable. The wealthy don't sleep 8 hours. They never have. They sleep in calculated intervals, and they wake when the world is silent, because they know that silence is where power lives. But this is not about deprivation. This is not about exhaustion. The 3 a.m. protocol is not a call to suffer, it is a call to align. You will not be tired if you do this correctly. You will be energized. You will feel more alive at 3 a.m. than you ever felt at noon. Why? Because you will be tapping into a source of energy that most people never access. You will be drinking from a well that the masses don't even know exists. Let me tell you about a man. His name was Samuel. I met him 15 years ago. He was broke, desperate, drowning in debt. He had worked hard his entire life, and yet he had nothing. He came to me and asked, "What am I doing wrong?" I looked at him and asked one question, "What time do you wake up?" He said, 6:30, sometimes 7. I told him, "That's your problem. Your waking up after the battle has already been lost." I gave Samuel the 3 a.m. protocol. I told him exactly what I'm about to tell you. He resisted at first. He made excuses. He said it was impossible. But desperation is a great motivator, and Samuel was desperate, so he tried it. Just for 1 week, that's all I asked. 1 week of waking at 3 a.m. and following the protocol. Within 7 days, Samuel's life began to change. Not in small ways, in seismic ways. Opportunities appeared. Ideas flooded his mind. People he hadn't heard from in years reached out with offers. Money, which had always eluded him, started flowing. Within 6 months, Samuel had paid off his debts. Within 2 years, he was a millionaire. Within 5 years, he owned multiple businesses and had more wealth than he ever imagined possible. Was it magic? No, it was law. Samuel had aligned himself with the rhythm of wealth. He had claimed the hours that the world ignores. And in doing so, he accessed a power that transformed everything. Now, before I give you the protocol, you must understand something. This will not work if you approach it casually. This will not work if you try it once and quit. This will not work if you treat it like some trendy morning routine you read about in a magazine. The 3 a.m. protocol is a commitment. It is a covenant between you and the unseen forces that govern wealth. You must approach it with reverence, with discipline, with absolute faith. If you do, it will reward you beyond measure. If you don't, it will ignore you completely. There are 5 elements to the protocol. Each one is essential. Skip even one, and the entire structure collapses. These are not suggestions, these are laws, and laws, when followed, must produce results. That is their nature. They cannot fail. Only you can fail by refusing to obey them. The first element is the awakening itself. You must wake at exactly 3 a.m., not 3:15, not 2:45, 3 a.m. The precision matters. Why? Because the universe operates on exact frequencies. 3 a.m. is the frequency of creation. It is when the Earth's magnetic field is at its most receptive. It is when your pineal gland, the seat of intuition, is most active. It is when the subconscious mind is still accessible, not yet buried under the noise of the day. Set your alarm for 3 a.m. When it goes off, do not hesitate. Do not negotiate with yourself. Do not hit snooze. The moment you hesitate, you lose. Hesitation is the language of the poor. Immediate action is the language of the rich. The wealthy do not debate with themselves. They decide and they move. You must do the same. When you rise at 3 a.m., do not turn on bright lights. The protocol requires darkness, or at most, dim candlelight. Why? Because light signals to your brain that the day has begun and the day is not what we're after. We are after the space between night and day, the liminal hour, the gap where creation happens. Bright light closes that gap. Darkness keeps it open. Go to a quiet place. It can be a corner of your bedroom, a home office, a chair by the window. The location doesn't matter. What matters is that it is free from distraction. No phone, no computer, no television. You are not here to consume. You are here to create. You are not here to be entertained. You are here to build an empire in your mind before the world wakes up and tries to steal it from you. Sit in silence for exactly 3 minutes. Do nothing. Just sit. Breathe. Allow your mind to surface from sleep. This is the bridging period. You are transitioning from the subconscious to the conscious, and you must do it gently. If you jolt yourself awake and immediately start working, you will miss the magic. The magic lives in the transition. The magic lives in the stillness. After 3 minutes, you will notice something. Your mind will be clear in a way it never is during the day. Thoughts will come to you with crystalline precision. Ideas that seemed impossible yesterday will seem obvious now. Solutions that eluded you for weeks will present themselves fully formed. This is not unusual. This is expected. This is what happens when you access the 3 a.m. frequency. Now, here is where most people fail. They sit in this clarity, they receive these ideas, and then they do nothing with them. They think, I'll write this down later, I'll remember this. But they won't. The daylight mind forgets what the 3 a.m. mind creates. You must capture it immediately. Keep a journal next to you, not a phone, a physical journal, pen and paper. There is something about the act of writing by hand that cements the idea into reality. Type it later if you must, but first, write it. Write everything that comes to you. Do not filter, do not judge, do not think this is stupid or this won't work. The 3 a.m. mind does not deal in limitations. It deals in possibilities. Your job is not to critique. Your job is to record. You are a scribe for forces greater than yourself. Write it all down. This is the first element of the protocol. The awakening, the silence, the recording. Master this, and you have already separated yourself from 99% of humanity. But we are just beginning. There are 4 more elements, and each one builds upon the last. Each one amplifies the power of the previous. By the time you complete all 5, you will have accessed a level of mental and spiritual power that most people don't believe exists. But belief is not required, only action. The protocol does not care if you believe. It cares if you obey. And if you obey, it will transform you into something the world has never seen before. A person who creates their reality instead of reacting to it. A person who commands wealth instead of begging for it. A person who operates on a frequency so high that poverty cannot touch them. 3 a.m. is not just an hour, it is an initiation. It is the beginning of your transformation from slave to master, from beggar to king, from victim to victor. The question is not whether the protocol works. The question is whether you have the courage to follow it. The second element of the 3 a.m. protocol is what I call the decree of dominion. This is where you separate yourself from every dreamer, every wishful thinker, every person who wants success but refuses to command it. At 3 a.m., after you have sat in silence and recorded the ideas that came to you, you must now speak your reality into existence. Not hope for it, not wish for it. Speak it as law. Words are not idle sounds. Words are vibrations. Words are frequencies. And at 3 a.m., when the world is silent, your words carry a weight they do not carry at any other time. Scientists have proven that sound waves can shatter glass, can move objects, can alter physical matter. If sound can do that to the material world, imagine what it can do to the invisible world of thought, of energy, of wealth. The wealthy understand this. They speak differently than the poor. The poor beg, the wealthy declare. The poor say, I hope things get better. The wealthy say, I command increase. The poor say, maybe someday I'll be rich. The wealthy say, I am rich now, and I grow richer every day. Do you see the difference? One is a plea, the other is a decree, and the universe responds to decrees, not pleas. At 3 a.m., you will speak your decree of dominion. You will state, in clear and certain terms, exactly what you are building, not what you hope to build. What you are building. Present tense. Absolute certainty. You will speak as though the thing already exists, because in the realm of thought, in the realm of energy, it does. The material world is simply catching up to what you have already created in the invisible world. Stand when you do this. Do not sit. Standing is the posture of authority. Sitting is the posture of reception. You have already received in the silence. Now you command. Stand and speak with your full voice, not shouting, but firm, clear, unwavering. Let your words fill the room. Let them vibrate in your chest. Let them echo in the darkness. I will give you an example of a decree. You may use this, or you may create your own. But whatever you say, it must be specific. It must be present tense. And it must be spoken with absolute conviction. Here is the decree. I am a master of wealth. Money flows to me from infinite sources. I command opportunity, and it obeys. I see what others cannot see. I act when others hesitate. I build empires while the world sleeps. My mind is clear, my vision is sharp, my will is unbreakable. I am aligned with the forces of creation, and they serve me. Today I increase, tomorrow I expand, forever I rise. Speak this or something like it. Speak it every morning at 3 a.m. Do not mumble, do not rush. Speak each word with intention. Feel the truth of it in your bones. If you speak these words with doubt, they will produce nothing. If you speak them with faith, they will produce everything. The difference between poverty and wealth is not talent, it is not intelligence. It is faith. Faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. And at 3 a.m., faith is at its peak. Now I must address something. You might be thinking, this sounds like affirmations. I've tried affirmations. They don't work. Let me be clear. This is not affirmations. Affirmations are weak. Affirmations are repetitions of positive thoughts designed to make you feel better. The decree of dominion is not about feeling better. It is about commanding reality. Affirmations are suggestions. Decrees are laws. Affirmations are wishes. Decrees are weapons. The reason affirmations don't work for most people is because they speak them without power, without belief, without the backing of the 3 a.m. frequency. They speak them at noon in the middle of chaos, surrounded by noise, and they wonder why nothing changes. But you are not doing that. You are speaking at 3 a.m. You are speaking in silence. You are speaking at the hour when the universe listens. And that makes all the difference. Let me tell you about a woman named Margaret. She was a school teacher, barely making ends meet. She had dreams of owning her own business, but every time she tried, she failed. She came to me broken, convinced she was cursed. I asked her what she said to herself every day. She told me, I tell myself I can do this. I tell myself I'm capable. I said, that's your problem. You're trying to convince yourself. Stop convincing and start commanding. I taught Margaret the decree of dominion. I told her to wake at 3 a.m. and speak her reality into existence. Not hope for it, not believe in it, speak it as fact. She resisted at first, just like everyone does. She said, I feel foolish talking to myself in the dark. I said, you'll feel more foolish staying poor. That got her attention. Margaret began the protocol. Every morning at 3 a.m., she stood in her small apartment and declared, I am a successful business owner. My company serves thousands. Money flows to me with ease. I am brilliant. I am capable. I am unstoppable. At first, she didn't believe it, but I told her belief comes later. Obedience comes first. So she obeyed. Within 3 weeks, something shifted. Margaret met a woman at a coffee shop who mentioned she was looking for someone to help launch an online education platform. Margaret, who had never done anything like that, felt a strange confidence. She said yes. Within 6 months, that platform was generating 6 figures. Within 2 years, Margaret had quit teaching and was running a multi-million-dollar business. She called me and said, "I don't know what happened. I don't know how this worked." And I said, "You spoke it into existence. You decreed it and the universe obeyed. This is not a miracle. This is law. When you speak at 3 a.m., you are speaking at the frequency of creation. The thoughts you think, the words you speak, they do not dissipate into nothing. They go out into the invisible world and begin to arrange circumstances, people, opportunities to match what you have declared. You become a magnet. You become a force. And wealth has no choice but to flow toward you. But here is the critical part. You cannot speak wealth at 3 a.m. and then spend the rest of your day speaking poverty. You cannot decree dominion at dawn and then complain about lack at lunch. Your words throughout the day must align with your decree at 3 a.m. If they don't, you create confusion in the invisible world, and confusion produces nothing. Guard your tongue. Speak as though you are already the person you declared yourself to be. If you decreed you are a master of wealth, then speak like one. If you decreed you are unstoppable, then act like it. Your decree is not separate from your life. Your decree is the foundation of your life. Everything you do, everything you say, must build upon that foundation. The third element of the 3 a.m. protocol is what I call the battle plan. This is where vision becomes strategy. This is where dreams become actions. You have awakened. You have decreed. Now you must plan. The wealthy do not drift through their days. They do not react. They strategize, and they do it when their minds are sharpest, which is at 3 a.m. Take your journal. On a fresh page, write today's date at the top. Then write this question. What are the 3 most important actions I can take today to move closer to my definite chief aim? Do not write 10 things. Do not write a list of errands and distractions. Write 3 things. 3 significant needle-moving actions that will actually advance you toward wealth. Most people confuse activity with progress. They fill their days with busy work and wonder why they never get ahead. The wealthy do not do this. The wealthy focus. They identify the few actions that matter and they execute them with precision. Everything else is noise. At 3 a.m., your mind is clear enough to distinguish between what matters and what doesn't. Use that clarity. Write your 3 actions. Be specific. Do not write work on business. Write call 5 potential clients and close 2 deals. Do not write improve finances. Write transfer $500 to savings and cancel 3 unnecessary subscriptions. Specificity is power. Vagueness is weakness. Once you have written your 3 actions, do something most people never do. Imagine each one completed. Close your eyes and see yourself making those calls. Hear the conversations. Feel the success. See the money in your account. See the progress made. This is not fantasy. This is pre-experience. You are programming your subconscious mind to recognize the opportunity and execute the action when the moment comes. Athletes do this. They visualize the game before they play it. The wealthy do this. They visualize the deal before they make it. You must do this. Spend 3 minutes on each action. See it, feel it, know it. By the time you open your eyes, those actions are no longer future possibilities. They are inevitable outcomes. Your subconscious mind has already accepted them as done. Now your conscious mind simply has to follow through. Here is what will happen. When the time comes to take those actions, you will not hesitate. You will not feel fear. You will not doubt. Because in your mind, you have already done it. The action will feel familiar, natural, easy. This is the power of the battle plan. You are not hoping for success. You are executing a plan you have already seen completed. Let me tell you about a man named Richard. He was a salesman, mediocre at best. He made enough to survive, but never enough to thrive. He attended one of my seminars and learned the 3 a.m. protocol. He started waking at 3, doing the decree, and then writing his battle plan. Every morning, 3 actions. Specific, visualized, completed in his mind before the day began. Within 1 month, Richard's sales doubled. Within 6 months, he was the top salesman in his company. Within a year, he had left the company and started his own firm. Within 5 years, he was a multi-millionaire. What changed? Not his talent, not his experience, his strategy. He stopped drifting and started planning. He stopped reacting and started commanding. He stopped living by chance and started living by law. The battle plan is not optional. Without it, you are a ship without a rudder. You will be blown by every wind, tossed by every wave. But with it, you are a missile locked onto a target. Nothing can divert you, nothing can stop you. You have clarity, you have direction, you have power. Now here is something most people miss. The battle plan is not just for success, it is also for protection. When you wake at 3 a.m. and write your 3 actions, you are also deciding what you will not do. You are deciding what distractions you will ignore, what temptations you will refuse, what time wasters you will avoid. The wealthy understand that saying no is more important than saying yes. They protect their time, their energy, their focus. You must do the same. Write a second list. 3 things you will not do today. 3 distractions you will refuse. 3 traps you will avoid. Maybe it's social media, maybe it's gossip, maybe it's unnecessary meetings. Whatever pulls you away from your 3 actions, write it down and declare it forbidden. This is your shield. Your 3 actions are your sword. Together, they make you invincible. The 4th element of the protocol is the element most people find uncomfortable, but it is the most powerful. It is the confrontation with fear. At 3 a.m., when you are alone in the dark, fear will whisper to you. It will tell you that you're not good enough. It will remind you of past failures. It will predict future disasters. And most people, when they hear these whispers, they believe them. They shrink, they quit, they go back to bed and never try again. But you will not do that, because I am going to teach you how to weaponize fear. Fear is not your enemy. Fear is your fuel. The presence of fear means you are on the edge of something great. It means you are attempting something beyond your current capacity. It means you are growing. The only people who feel no fear are the people who attempt nothing. They are safe, comfortable, and poor. At 3 a.m., when fear whispers, do not ignore it. Do not suppress it. Face it. Call it out. Say out loud, I hear you, fear. You're telling me I might fail. You're telling me I'm not ready. You're telling me I should quit, and I reject you. I do not serve you. You serve me. Speak directly to your fear. Name it. Dominate it. This might sound strange. You might think I'm asking you to talk to yourself like a crazy person, but the wealthy have been doing this for centuries. They understand that fear is a voice, and every voice can be answered. Most people let fear speak unchallenged, and it grows louder and louder until it drowns out everything else. But when you challenge fear, when you speak back to it, it shrinks, it loses power, it becomes fuel. After you have confronted your fear, after you have spoken to it and dominated it, you must do something that transforms it completely. You must thank it. Yes, you heard me correctly. Thank your fear. Say out loud, thank you, fear, for showing me where my next breakthrough lives. Thank you for marking the path to my expansion. You are not my enemy. You are my compass, pointing toward everything I am meant to become. This is the secret the masters know. Fear is not a stop sign. Fear is a signpost. It says, here, this is where you grow. This is where you claim new territory. This is where you become more. When you reframe fear this way, it loses its power to paralyze you. It becomes information. It becomes fuel. It becomes the very thing that propels you forward instead of holding you back. I knew a man named David who was terrified of public speaking. It paralyzed him. Every time he had to present an idea, his throat would close, his hands would shake, his mind would go blank. He avoided it for years, and because he avoided it, he never advanced. He watched lesser men get promoted simply because they could speak with confidence. David's fear was costing him his future. I taught him the 3 a.m. protocol. I told him to wake every morning and confront his fear directly, to speak to it, to thank it. He thought I was insane, but he was desperate, so he tried it. Every morning at 3 a.m., David would sit in the darkness and say, "Fear, I see you. You're telling me I'll embarrass myself. You're telling me I'll fail. And I thank you for caring enough to warn me. But I do not need your protection. I choose growth over safety. I choose courage over comfort. And today, I speak." Within 2 weeks, David volunteered to give a presentation at work. His hands still shook, but his voice didn't. Within a month, he was leading meetings. Within 6 months, he was training new employees. Within a year, he was promoted to management. His fear didn't disappear, but it stopped controlling him. He learned to use it as fuel, and that fuel powered his rise. You will do the same. Every morning at 3 a.m., confront your fear. Speak to it, thank it, then command it to serve you. Say, "Fear, you will not stop me. You will strengthen me. Every time I feel you, I will know I am on the right path, and I will move forward with even greater determination." Do this, and fear will become your greatest ally. Now we come to the 5th and final element of the 3 a.m. protocol. This is the element that seals everything. This is the element that takes your decree, your battle plan, your conquered fear, and locks it into reality. This is the element of transmission. You must send your vision into the invisible world and command it to take form. Close your eyes, sit in stillness, and in your mind, see your definite chief aim as already accomplished. Do not see yourself working toward it. See it done. If your aim is wealth, see the money in your account, see the contract signed, see the business thriving. If your aim is influence, see the crowds listening, see the impact spreading, see the legacy built. Whatever your aim, see it completed. But do not just see it, feel it. This is critical. Emotion is the language of creation. Thought without emotion is powerless. Thought with emotion is unstoppable. Feel the pride of accomplishment. Feel the joy of success. Feel the peace of financial security. Feel the power of influence. Let these emotions fill your chest, flood your body, radiate from you. Hold this vision and this feeling for at least 5 minutes. Do not rush. Do not let your mind wander. Stay locked onto the vision. The longer you hold it, the deeper it engraves into your subconscious. The deeper it engraves, the faster it manifests. This is not wishful thinking. This is the science of creation. Every great inventor, every successful entrepreneur, every powerful leader has used this exact process. Thomas Edison saw the electric light in his mind long before it existed in reality. He held that vision through 10,000 failed experiments. He never doubted. He never wavered. Why? Because he had transmitted the vision into the invisible world, and he knew the invisible world was already working to bring it into form. His job was simply to keep moving, keep experimenting, keep believing. And eventually, the invisible became visible. You will do the same. Every morning at 3 a.m., transmit your vision, send it out, lock it in, then release it. Do not cling to it throughout the day. Do not obsess over it. Once you have transmitted it, trust that it is already in motion. Your job is not to figure out how it will happen. Your job is to stay aligned, to take your 3 actions, to follow the opportunities that appear. The how is not your concern. The what is your concern. You decide what. The universe handles how. This is where most people fail. They transmit their vision, and then 5 minutes later they start doubting. They start questioning. They start looking for evidence that it's working, and when they don't see immediate results, they give up. They say, I tried visualization, it doesn't work. But they didn't try it. They dabbled in it. They touched it and ran away. The protocol requires commitment. It requires faith. It requires you to transmit your vision every single morning and trust that the invisible world is responding, even when you see no evidence yet. Let me tell you about a woman named Lisa. She was drowning in debt. She had tried everything, budgeting, side hustles, second jobs. Nothing worked. The debt kept growing. She felt hopeless. Then she learned the 3 a.m. protocol. She started waking, doing the decree, writing her battle plan, confronting her fear, and transmitting her vision of financial freedom. For the first 3 weeks, nothing changed. Her bank account still showed negative numbers. Her creditors still called. But Lisa didn't stop. She kept transmitting. She kept seeing herself debt-free. She kept feeling the relief, the peace, the freedom. And then, in the 4th week, something happened. A distant relative she hadn't spoken to in years reached out and offered her a job opportunity. It was random. It was unexpected. It was exactly what she needed. Lisa took the job. Within 6 months, she had paid off half her debt. Within a year, she was completely debt-free. Within 2 years, she had a 6-figure savings account. She called me in tears and said, "How did this happen? I didn't do anything special." I said, "You did the most special thing possible. You transmitted your vision into the invisible world, and the invisible world rearranged reality to match it. This is not magic, this is law. The invisible world is always listening. It is always responding. It is always working. But it only works for those who give it clear instructions. Most people give it confusion, doubt, fear, and then they wonder why their lives are chaotic. You are not most people. You are giving it clarity, faith, vision, and it will respond accordingly. Now, let me address something important. The 3 a.m. protocol is not a one-time event. It is not something you try for a week and then abandon. It is a lifestyle. It is a discipline. The wealthy do not follow routines when it's convenient. They follow them without exception, rain or shine. Tired or energized, motivated or not, they do it because it is law, and law does not bend. You must commit to this protocol for at least 90 days. Why 90 days? Because that is how long it takes for a new behavior to become automatic. For the first 30 days, it will feel difficult. You will want to quit. Your alarm will go off, and you will hate it. You will think, just one more day of sleep, I'll start tomorrow. Do not listen to that voice. That is the voice of poverty. That is the voice of mediocrity. That is the voice that has kept you where you are. Push through the first 30 days. By day 31, it will start to feel easier. By day 60, it will feel natural. By day 90, you will not be able to imagine living any other way. You will wake at 3 a.m. without an alarm. You will crave the silence. You will hunger for the protocol, because by day 90, you will have seen the results. You will have experienced the power. And once you experience it, you will never go back. I have seen men transform their entire lives in 90 days by following this protocol. I have seen women go from poverty to prosperity. I have seen businesses explode. I have seen relationships heal. I have seen health restore. Why? Because the 3 a.m. protocol is not just about wealth. It is about alignment. It is about accessing a level of consciousness that most people never reach. And when you operate from that level, everything changes. But you must be warned. Not everyone will understand what you're doing. When you start waking at 3 a.m., people will think you're crazy. They will mock you. They will tell you you're obsessed. They will say you need to relax, to enjoy life, to stop trying so hard. Do not listen to them. Those people are asleep in more ways than one. They are asleep to possibility. They are asleep to power. They are asleep to their own potential, and they want you to stay asleep with them. Misery loves company, but so does mediocrity. The average person will do everything in their power to pull you back down to their level, not because they hate you, but because your rise makes them uncomfortable. It reminds them of their own inaction. It exposes their own excuses, so they will try to stop you with kindness. They will say they're worried about your health. They will say you're working too hard. They will say you need balance. But here is the truth. Balance is a lie sold to keep you average. The wealthy are not balanced. They are obsessed. They are consumed. They are relentless. Show me a balanced billionaire, and I will show you someone who inherited their wealth and is slowly losing it. The builders, the creators, the empire makers, they do not seek balance. They seek dominance, and dominance requires sacrifice. You are sacrificing sleep. But what are you gaining? Clarity, power, wealth, freedom. The ability to write your own destiny instead of accepting the one handed to you. Is that not worth a few hours of sleep? Is that not worth the discomfort of waking in the dark? I promise you, when you are sitting in the wealth you have created, when you are living the life you have designed, you will not regret a single 3 a.m. wake up. But you will regret every morning you chose comfort over greatness. Now let me give you the structure of the entire protocol in sequence, so you understand exactly what you are doing each morning. You will wake at exactly 3 a.m. You will go to your quiet place. You will sit in silence for 3 minutes. You will record any ideas that come to you. You will stand and speak your decree of dominion. You will sit and write your 3 actions for the day. You will visualize each action completed. You will confront your fear and thank it. You will close your eyes and transmit your vision with emotion for 5 minutes. Then you will release it and begin your day. The entire process takes approximately 30 minutes. 30 minutes that will change everything. Compare that to the hours most people waste scrolling on their phones, watching television, engaging in meaningless gossip. You are investing 30 minutes in your future self, and that investment will return to you 1,000-fold. But here is something critical. After you complete the protocol, do not go back to bed. The protocol is not a pre-sleep routine. It is the beginning of your day. Once you have completed it, you are awake. You are activated. You are aligned. Now you move. Now you act. Now you execute. The hours between 3 a.m. and sunrise are the most productive hours of your life. Why? Because the world is silent. There are no emails, no phone calls, no interruptions. No one needs anything from you. You have complete control of your time, your attention, your energy. This is when you do your most important work. This is when you write the book. This is when you build the business plan. This is when you solve the problem that has been plaguing you for months. I cannot emphasize this enough. Do not waste the hours after the protocol. Do not sit around waiting for the sun to rise. Move, work, create. The protocol has armed you with clarity and power. Now use it. The wealthy do not wait for permission. They do not wait for the perfect moment. They act immediately, and they act with force. There is a rhythm to success that most people never find. They work hard during the day, but their work is reactive. They are responding to emails, attending meetings, putting out fires. They are busy, but they are not productive. The 3 a.m. protocol breaks that rhythm. It gives you hours of proactive work before the reactive work begins. By the time the world wakes up, you have already won the day. Think about this. If you wake at 3 a.m. and work until 7, you have 4 hours of uninterrupted productivity. 4 hours where you are operating at your mental peak. 4 hours where no one can distract you. If you do this every day, that is 28 hours per week. That is over 1,400 hours per year. That is the equivalent of working 35 40-hour weeks. You are essentially adding an entire work year to your life every single year. Do you understand the compound effect of that? In 5 years, you will have gained 5 extra years of productive work. While your competitors worked 5 years, you worked 10. While others took a decade to build their wealth, you did it in 5. This is not theory, this is mathematics, and mathematics does not lie. But the compound effect is not just in time, it is in quality. The work you do at 3 a.m. is not ordinary work, it is extraordinary work. Your mind is fresh, your creativity is unleashed, your intuition is sharp. You are accessing levels of insight that you simply cannot access at 2 in the afternoon when you are tired, distracted, and drained. 1 hour at 3 a.m. is worth 3 hours at any other time. Let me tell you about a man named Victor. He was an entrepreneur, struggling to get his business off the ground. He worked 14-hour days, 7 days a week, and yet he was barely surviving. He was exhausted, frustrated, on the verge of quitting. I told him he was working hard but not smart. I told him about the 3 a.m. protocol. He said, "I can't wake up earlier. I'm already exhausted." I said, "You're exhausted because you're wasting your energy. You're working in reaction instead of creation. Change your rhythm and your energy will return." Victor started the protocol. He woke at 3 a.m., did the 5 elements, and then worked on his business until 7, just 4 hours. But in those 4 hours, he accomplished more than he had in entire weeks before. Why? Because he was focused. He was clear. He was aligned. Within 3 months, his business had doubled. Within a year, he had quit his side job and was running his company full-time. Within 3 years, he sold that company for 7 figures and started another one. Victor called me and said, "I don't know how I ever lived without this protocol. I feel like I was sleepwalking through life before." I said, "You were. Most people are. But now you're awake and you'll never go back. You will experience the same transformation, but only if you commit, only if you push through the discomfort, only if you trust the process even when you don't see immediate results." The protocol works, but it works for the persistent, not for the casual. It works for the disciplined, not for the dabbler. It works for those who want wealth more than they want comfort. So ask yourself right now, do you want comfort or do you want wealth? Do you want to sleep in or do you want to rise? Do you want to drift through life like everyone else or do you want to dominate? The choice is yours. But understand this, choosing comfort is choosing poverty. Choosing ease is choosing mediocrity. Choosing sleep is choosing to remain exactly where you are. The 3 a.m. protocol is your escape. It is your weapon. It is your key to a life most people will never experience. But you must use it. You must commit to it. You must protect it. Starting tomorrow morning, set your alarm for 3 a.m. Do not negotiate. Do not hesitate. When that alarm goes off, rise immediately. Go to your quiet place. Begin the protocol and watch as your entire life begins to shift.